What's up, guys and gals? It's me, your old buddy Mr. Moose, back with another edition of SimAirport. Yeah, you guys seem to enjoy our first episode, so I thought we'd continue on with our airport build here. Now, if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you smack that like button for me, leave a comment, and if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. All right, so where are we at with our build? Now, the time's a little bit further forward. We were at 10 a.m. when I last left you. And those with a keen eye may notice some things have changed, like our CFO is now a guy. We have some different trash receptacle placements. Yeah, here's what happened. The game crashed on me, and my game save from before went totally corrupt. And here's what happened. I narrowed it down to the baggage car. There is a bug in the game. There was a patch on the 21st, and it added in a little bug into the game, where if you save the game and the baggage car is anywhere on the map except for inside the hangar, when you load in the game, the baggage car won't respond. So if it's sitting right there, if it's sitting over here, if it's sitting underneath the airplane, wherever it's at, it's not going to move anymore. And it totally hoses your entire game save. I've had it on 3 game saves now mess me up. And it's quite the frustrating little bug. Hopefully they'll get it fixed. They are aware of it. But yeah, it messes you up totally. The workaround for it is to make sure that the baggage car is in the hangar when you save the game, and you'll be just fine. If it's not in the hangar, you can't even sell it off and destroy anything. It's just a complete nightmare. So make sure that it's in the hangar when you save the game. That adds into a list of other bugs that I have found in the game. Of course, in our beginning episode, I mentioned to you about the drop-off zones. So many people are mad about this, and they can't figure out why they can't get this working, and they're not spending a little bit of time to see where the problem actually is. And again, I'll point out that if you want to move your delivery zones or your drop-off pickup zones, you have to make sure there are no vehicles ahead of where those drop-off zones were, because basically, from what I can figure out, like, as soon as a vehicle enters into the map, it automatically determines where these zones are supposed to be. And if it gets to that spot and they're not there, then it freaks it out. So you have to make sure that the vehicle on the map has bypassed that spot before you move the zone. So like this truck, if he gets past the pickup zone, then I could start. But no, a bus came on here. So that's the reason why when I started it, I let my bus come all the way down, get past the pickup zone, and then I went ahead and let it go, and I started everything. So that's kind of what you got to do with that one. The other little bug, and this is a nifty one that I've located recently, is the janitors. I'm having an issue with trash on the map. For some reason, the faster I run the map, the less trash I collect. If I run at 1x speed right now, I'm not going to collect. Yeah, I'm going to get so much trash collected in that I'm going to fill up my dumpsters and everything is going to be crazy. So I have to run at a little bit faster speed in order to not collect way too much trash. Now, an easy solution to that would be go ahead and add to this garbage zone and add another dumpster right here. If I do that, all of a sudden my janitors will become possessed. It's like a UFO flies over the aircraft, abducts them, puts them back in, and they just stand there and beat their heads against the wall. They don't do anything, and it's so frustrating. So the solution I have found to it, and what we are going to implement on today's save, is at midnight after the trash is delivered, I'm going to destroy all this stuff and redo my garbage area with a ton of garbage dumpsters, and then I won't have that problem anymore because my area will be expanded all the way out. So I've done extensive testing to get to that point to figure that out. But anyways, let's go ahead and keep our flights going. We have researched out to go ahead and get a bank loan. So the first thing that we're going to do today is take a bank loan. And the second thing we're going to do today is research pricing. Because we want to go ahead and make sure that we can adjust our rates when we're ready to go ahead and get more airlines coming in here and making us more money. So we want to get that taken care of. And I'm going to leave my game running at a little faster speed. Hopefully that will control the garbage pickup, but I doubt it's going to. The other thing that we need to look at is possibility of adding in another gate here. Now, I'm not going to be able to add any more flights into my schedule until midnight. At midnight, I'll get a whole list of new offers, but it would pay for me to go ahead and start improving my facilities so that when that opportunity arises, I can go ahead and do so. So what I want to do is go ahead and build onto my facilities and get things maximized so that I can go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and increase our loan up to $93,000 because we're going to spend quite a bit of money here. I'm going to go ahead and first of all, I'm going to add in ILS to my runway. That's one of the improvements that I want to make. So I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my runway and put ILS in so that weather conditions aren't going to, hurt us. Then I'm going to go ahead and get a control tower built in so that we can have more than 10 flights. As I mentioned to you before, you can have a maximum of 10 flights on this schedule if you don't have a tower. Once you have a tower, you can put more in. And then the last thing I need to put in is an airplane gate. Now, I'd love to put in a great big gate, but I don't have the resources to do it. It's expensive to put in another gate. What we're going to have to do is put in a second small gate and start making a bit more money before we put the large one in. The large one's like $42,000, plus you got to spend $32,000 to extend the taxiway out a little bit. Then you got to spend another $100,000 to $150,000 to expand this corridor out so that you can have seating and a gate and all that good stuff. So it's quite expensive to add in one of the large gates. I figure up about $2.25 to go ahead and get that done. I just don't have those resources right now, so we're going to go with what we got. So at this point, we'll get our tower in, we'll get our ILS in, we'll get our new gate in, and that will give us the ability to attract more folks to the airport. Now, how are we doing on trash? 7 to 10. Again, if I let this run and slow-mo like it is right now, I would get inundated with trash. It would be overflowing. It would be all over the ground out here. But because I ran at a faster, speed, it's not going to. But I'm going to slow down so I can get a little bit more building done. I need to get my gate agents in place. So I need to get one here, and I need another one there. And then I also need to get a sliding glass door put in place so that the people can actually get out to the gate. That's going to be important. It's really not going to matter because I'm not even going to use this gate until day 3. Because day 2, we're going to run the exact same schedule. The reason behind that is the airline interest won't update until midnight. At midnight, it's going to populate a bunch of new flights that we could possibly book. And I'm not actually going to be able to get any new flights in. Well, I might be able to get one flight in. Let's go ahead and pause real quick. And I'll show you why. Pacific Airlines, I could book that one if I wanted to. But here's the thing. I really don't want to because it's a small airplane. It only holds 19 people in, and it's really not enough it's really not enough revenue to make it worth it. Because on day, when my next set of offers come out, I'm going to get airlines that are going to have a bunch of 767s and 707s, and the amount of revenue if I don't have slots for them because of the Beechcraft, I'm going to lose their revenue. And I'd rather have, again, you get paid by passengers, so you want to have as many passengers as possible. So I'm not going to book that Beechcraft. I'm going to hold off on that. I'm just going to keep on going and running through up until about midnight. And then we'll start scheduling our flights for the following day. All right, looks like they got this desk in, but this one isn't. So we will go ahead and assign this desk to this gate, which will make this gate active now. And then we'll assign this gate desk combination together as well. And then we can do our queue system. Yep. Which y'all all seen me do before, which is basically a zigzag pattern. across here up to here, leaving a little bit of room for them to enter. And then we'll pull that one across there. Once that's done, we'll assign that to there, that to there. This will be first class. This will be coach. That's good. All right. And then we'll assign this desk to not that one, unassigned to that one for coach. Excellent. All right. How we doing on trash? See, we're getting inundated with trash now because I slowed everything down. If I speed it up, I won't get nearly as much trash. It's totally weird how that's bugged out. But yeah, the faster you move, the less trash you generate, so. Whoa, why did they go to that gate? And I have no ticketing, I had no gate agents there. Well, let's hire a couple of gate agents. Staff. Let's get one there, get one there. There we go. Now, you can leave these gate agents, like you can leave gates unstaffed. If you do, though, the game has a, will pull people off of the ticketing kiosk or ticketing desk to man empty gates. And I don't like that because I want people checking in. The priority is to get them into this room. So I want all my staff fully staffed out here, and I want security fully staffed. And security's not fully staffed. Security is missing 2 members. Get them in place. All right, there's midnight. Should be garbage pickup time. So we're going to fix our garbage issues. And once that is done, then we will start booking flights for the following day. See, we got a whole bunch of flights now offered to us, which is good news. Where's our research on pricing? It's 48%. That's a bummer. All right, so as soon as he gets all the trash collected, I can actually start destroying these dumpsters. Yep, get that one destroyed. Come on, lady. Get your piece of trash down here and into the zone so the garbage man can pick it up. Oh, she was really slow. Go ahead and destroy that dumpster. All right. Excellent. So as soon as that is done, I'm going to clear this zone out. And this is the only fix I have found that works for this little glitch, little problem. Like I said, if I had to put a dumpster right there, I've even run it through and waited until the garbage was done and then added dumpsters in, and they still get possessed and wig out. The only solution I've found is to get rid of the garbage zone, then rezone, and I'm going to go ahead and put 4 rows of dumpsters in just to give myself plenty of space here. And then start putting in the dumpsters. But first, to get some money in so I can do that, I need to pause the game and book some airlines. Because I'm running short on cash up here, and they're $2,000 a pop for those, so I need to schedule some airlines. All right, so looking at our schedule, what we've got. After we restarted, I only have 2 morning flights. I have 3 afternoon flights, and I have 2 night flights going right now. So I want to add in definitely some morning flights. We need to get at least 5 morning flights, and then some afternoon flights in. So let's look at what we got for mornings. 787 is not going to do it for me. That's too big. A380, A350 is not going to work. Anything with an A in front of it's not going to work. 747 is going to be too big. So there's nothing on that one that I can use. Offered Air doesn't have anything. WestJet has 1 morning flight and 1 737 afternoon flight. We'll take those. Let's see what we got next. We've got Pacific Air. I want to stay away from those guys because, again, they're using Beechcrafts, and that's fine for general aviation, but we're wanting some big planes. Juno Connect is a Bombardier. That's a Dash 8. That's only about 80 passengers, so I don't want it. Or actually, it's about 50. Starflight. That'll work. They've got some flights. Afternoons, they have an Embraer morning flight. I wish they had some bigger flights. Let's look at Atlantic, and let's look at these guys. I want to find the biggest morning flights. There's a 767. We want that. We can't take the 777. That's Aerostar. What does Union Air have? That's the Dash 8. Ugh, man. Selection on flights is horrible. Alright, so there's another morning flight. Let's look at our schedule and make sure that we haven't overbooked. So we've got the WestJet coming in here. That needs to be 30 minutes after. Alright, and then... Is that all the morning flights? We've only got 3 morning flights right now? No, there was another morning flight. That's a morning flight. So we can go ahead and put this one up here in the beginning. We want that to come in 30 minutes after our first flight. And then I could move the WestJet. I'll leave the WestJet where it's at. I need 2 more morning flights. And then my afternoon flights. Let's see what I got here. Afternoon white. I hate this interface. It's terrible. They so need to redo this interface for bookings. Alright, so here's noon, 30 minutes later, 30 minutes later, and then my evenings are 30 minutes and 30 minutes. So this stuff needs to be moved around a little bit. So this is going to be afternoon. That's a morning flight? Oh, well then let's get that moved appropriately there. Said morning flight needs to start there. Then that morning flight can start there. Again, I'd like to be able to move these up so I can group them closer to each other, you know, and adjust it so I can put things on the same level so that I could see, you know, where they're at, but it doesn't give you that ability to do that. So 30 minutes, and then this is an afternoon flight. If I was to put another flight right there 30 minutes later, it would end at 11:30. So I don't want this guy to start until... I could honestly put 2 more morning flights in. I could have another flight start at 11:30 and then have this one start at 2 o'clock. Let's see what we got. We might still have some more afternoon stuff up here on this. Let's see. There's a 7.6 that we want. Definitely for an afternoon flight. There we go. And we need a couple of night flights as well. What do we have night-wise? This is 737 and an Embraer. Looking for bigger aircraft. I want the bigger ones for nights. No, let's go back through the list and just look for 767s. I need 2 flights. Galactic Point's too big. Pacific Airlines too small. Juno's kind of small, especially since it's an afternoon flight. I'm not going to give away an afternoon slot to a Dash 8. There we go. There's a 767 for nights. And then I would need 1 more night flight that needs to be either a 707 or a 767 would be great. 737 is 140. The 707, it has more passengers than it. Let's verify our placement here. That one can start at 7 o'clock. Actually, yeah, 7 o'clock. And then I can put 1 more at 9:30. So what is available for nights? We're on Starflight, right? Atlantic International has a 737. I wanted to see, let's see if there's a 707 for nights. There is. All right, so we'll accept that for nights. That gives us 4 night flights. Oh man, this part of it is, because of the UI for scheduling, it really is a nightmare to try and figure all this out. All right, so we start at 4 a.m. We have a flight at 4, a flight 30 minutes after it leaves at 6:30, a flight 30 minutes after that leaves at that arrives at 9 and leaves at 10, and then we get into our afternoon schedule, which plays off of this. Actually, technically, do this. Let's pull that just so, because it's easier to see. We'll move this one up to the first flight, just because it's easier to manage it view-wise. All right, so that one will start at 4:30. Then we'll have this. That'll tie into the afternoon schedule at noon. Right? Yeah, there. Noon. And then we have that flight that goes with it and that flight that goes with it. That flight goes down there into the evening off of this one. Oh, so much. Trying to, again, what I'm doing is I'm trying to make it where I can visually see by the gate, and it's just easier to manage that way. Right? That's a 707, that's 767. That works out. Okay, so there's my night pattern is adjusted right. Basically, I need another afternoon flight, really. No, my afternoon flights are full. I need a morning flight. So there's 30 minutes in between that one, 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 30 minutes in between that one. Working in reverse, you've got 30 minutes in between these two flights. And then when we come down, there's 30 minutes in between that one and this one, 30 minutes in between that one and this one, which means we're good. We have all this morning space available is what we're looking at. So I need a couple more morning flights, and I just don't have it anywhere. That's nights. Let's see, there's the morning 7-7. Can't use it. The Dash 8 is a morning flight. It's tempting. That's only 50 passengers max. The 707, those are afternoon flights. That's an afternoon flight. Those are afternoon flights. There's no slots in the afternoons free. The Galactic Point is too big, and the Rexana is too big. The only other option I have is to throw in that Union Air Dash 8 in the morning, and I'm going to go ahead and do that just because that will get us some more money. It's only 50 passengers, but it will get us money, and we're not going to change our schedule for a little bit of time, so we'll go ahead and slot him for right there at 9 o'clock in the morning. We still have one more morning slot that we could fill up. Because basically when this one lands or takes off at 11, I could have another plane land at 11:30 and then take off. That would be 11:30 to 12:30, 12:30 to 1:30, and then my afternoon flight would land at 2 o'clock. So that's why I got one more morning slot available, and then I would be full up. So unfortunately, I didn't get the flights that I would like to have, but I did get $26,000 out of that, which means I can come over here and buy a whole bunch of dumpsters and finish up my garbage area. And we can get the day started. Now, all that I just did doesn't take place until day 4. as far as the flights. All this will take place immediately. Oh, I'm going to be broke after putting all these dumpsters in. Gonna leave me $660. Oh well. Had to be done. So, yeah. So here's the other thing. And now I've researched pricing. And I could go ahead and... Let's go ahead and get those guys going and get some daytime advancing here. I've researched pricing. And as soon as pricing is done, I could raise my rates. But I run the risk of having airlines leave me if I raise the rates by too much money. And you have to really do it gradual over time. If you're not careful, you will just completely lose several airlines. And it's better to run a few days before, like I just made my schedule up, right? And I'm going to have pricing research done, midway through today. I could go ahead and adjust my rates. But if I do that, I run the risk of the next day having half of my airlines leave me. So I have found that it's best usually to run a day or so before you make any kind of adjustments on pricing. And that way you get, make sure you got a little bit of a cushion too, because here's another thing that I don't understand about this game. You get penalized if an airline decides it doesn't want to come to your airport anymore. So, like, if I go into my schedule and I cancel an aircraft from flying into it, like if I decided I could get a 767 in here instead of a 737, and I wanted to boot this Boeing out of the flight schedule, if I did, I would have to pay them double what they signed for because I'm breaking the contract with them. But if I raise my rate slightly and they leave, I have to pay that same fee. That doesn't seem fair. It seems like I'm getting hosed both sides of that. So, all right, remember how much trash we generated going at normal speed on the very first day? Look how little trash we've generated so far. It's almost like we haven't generated any. And that's because I'm running at 5x speed. I've got nothing in that one, nothing in that one, nothing in that one. Nada, 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 nada. Nada, 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 Nope. So see, there's a definite glitch in the trash. Because day one, I had already filled 2 dumpsters completely up by noon. And I haven't generated any trash at this point. Now, watch what happens if I slow down. If we slow everything down, suddenly my janitors are going to get a whole bunch of trash bags. And we're going to start getting a whole bunch of trash. It's amazing. But anyways, I don't really want to run slow because I got to generate some income. Because I have no other way of generating income at this point other than letting the flights run. I can't take out a loan. We're maxed out on the loan. We got $2,100 to operate on. And basically, I need to run some people through the airport. So at this point, there's no sense in me running at low speed. I should be running at max speed just to kick some flights through for the day. But I do need to keep an eye on time and make sure that my airplanes are leaving on time. And making sure that my schedule is keeping up. So, like, here's my aero time on final approach. And I need to make sure that it leaves the gate by 1630 or by at least 1700 so that this plane can see that it has a free slot on the ground before it lands. And here's one other thing about the game. This flight that's in or out, when it approaches 1700, if it doesn't see a free gate open, it's gonna, wig out about it, which it's not gonna be really that big of an issue because I have 2 gates right now with a 1-gate schedule, so it's not a big deal. But if you have multiple, if you had a full schedule running, you have to keep an eye on that and make sure that there is a gate free for it. It doesn't, like, you really wouldn't need the gate available until they landed. Like in a real airport situation, you'd have a holding pattern for the airport, but you'd also have a ground hold too. They'd be able to taxi and hold short of the gate while another one pushed back, or they'd have an alternative for them. And Can't really do that in this game, but anyways, let's keep running time. I keep wanting to slow up. I enjoy kind of watching the whole thing work, especially like when a big plane comes in and lands and all the people get off, and it's just fun to watch them work their way through security and everything and make sure that you don't have any congestion anywhere. It's hard to keep an eye on that when they're running through as fast as they possibly can. So look, see, we got a little bit of trash. Now we have hardly any trash. You see what I mean? If I'm running fast, I don't have any trash issues. Where before, you know, I had all these dumpsters full and I've got none of these. I don't even have one full. Silly. Our ticketing counter's working good. Even with a big load of people coming in. And for some reason the Golden Girls want to stick together in one line instead of spreading out here. But so far, so good. Everything looks good. Now, one adjustment we could make without costing us any money is I could put another lane, another queue in here to help with security. But I think we're fine right now. Now, the next day, day 4, is going to be a whole new story. We're going to have a full day. We might actually consider adding a couple of maybe more security officers on board, maybe another ID check station and another baggage claim or another baggage scanner, but I think we're all right. I am going to go ahead and add a queue in. Let's add this queue in real quick. And let's have this guy work this queue. Unassigned from that one. And have this guy only work in that queue. See how that works. If I need to, I can tie them both into both queues. And look at Smarty there, not even going through the queue and just walking straight up. That's where I want Officer Barbary to come up and just beat him with a baton. Alright, so it's 20:30. I'm running slow. We're probably getting some trash over here. Oh yeah, we got 5 of 10. Let's make sure I don't have any janitors zonked out anywhere. Got some trash on the ground. They're slacking. Yeah, it's 21:05. And I had trash everywhere at 21:05 before, and I've only got one dumpster halfway full. Well, there's one bag in there. It's just absolutely silly. It's frustrating too, because like, I mean, you find these bugs, and for me, I find them when I'm trying to record, and it just totally messes up the recording because it's you know it's going to hose the map. When you have your janitor just come to a standstill on the map and you can't do anything about it, you pretty much know your game save's ruined. So you don't save, you save as an alternate save, and then you go and try and figure out the solution to the problem so that you can keep playing, because I want to do this as a series and keep building out this airport. But if I have problems where it crashes and I have lockups or whatever because of bugs, I can't do a series on building an airport out because, well, I can't record it all in one sitting. Alright, 1309. Let's get all these people on this plane and get them out of here. Boarding starts in 9 minutes. Come on. So we made $7,000. That's good. And again, I could go ahead and put a couple more security guys in. I'm not going to. I'm going to let it go. Let's look at where our numbers were. Hunger. We need some more vending machines. So let's go ahead and put a couple of vending machines in. Let's put in a couple of food vending machines. Let's put in one here. There we go. And let's put another one. Running out of room where to put things. Yeah, we'll just leave that one. And then we'll get some trash receptacles. We need a couple more. Let's put one here. Oh, I'm broke. I can't do anything. Out of money. All right, let's look at our flight schedule. We got a pretty good flight schedule going for today now. Everything needs to be 30 minutes apart for our schedule, and we should have no problems. 2 planes in the 4 o'clock hour, 2 planes in the 6:30 to 7 hour. Then we got 2 planes in the 9 o'clock hour. We get into lunch. We got only 1 plane, and then we got 2 planes in the 2 o'clock hour, 2 planes in the 4:30 to 5. Yeah, we're good. Our setup is good and solid. We might have gotten some more offers. We should look at that as well. Yeah, we did. We got some more offers here. So we can look at adjusting our schedule for the following day, for the 5th. We have a 65% interest level right now, which is pretty good for us. So let's bring up our schedule and we can go ahead and fill out that morning slot now. And this is the bummer, right? Now I've got a 767 for a morning flight. I definitely want to get that in there. But I've got that stupid Union Air Bombardier Dash 8 in here, and I'd like to get rid of it because there's a 737, a 707, and a 767 that I could get in here for in the morning. And that's a small aircraft taking up a big aircraft slot. That's unfortunate. All right, so making sure that we got our spacing right on this, that works. And again, if I cancel this flight, it costs me... Let's look at what it would cost to cancel that flight. That's Union Air. So if I wanted to cancel on them, it cost me $6,000 to terminate their flight. I would get $3,000 for booking the other one, I think. Let's look at what would be the bonus for booking that one. Oh, I get $3,700 for accepting the Atlantic International. That might be worth it. Let's see. The 737 is 147.07, 180 passengers. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel on the Eurostar, or I mean Union Air, for the following day. So, following day, I'm gonna remove that flight. It's gonna cost me. Well, don't remove it until the end of the day. We'll remove it at the end of the day. We don't have the money to terminate it right now. But yeah, at the end of the day, we'll go ahead and terminate that flight, and then we'll replace it with a more lucrative one. And speaking of, let's go ahead and advance time so we can get some passengers in here. It'll be interesting. We need to watch security to make sure that we're not getting overrun here, because we've got twice as much activity going to be happening now at the airport. So let's slow it down to 2x speed and just kind of watch ticketing and see if there's places where we're going to have to make adjustments. My biggest scare is the metal detector. People seem to get clogged up at the metal detector going through. If I'm going to add anything in immediately, it's going to be a metal detector. So let's go ahead and get one ready. How much is it? It's $2,800. Get that. So, all right, let's rotate that around. And let's get that metal detector in place. And there we go. Get my guys to come build it. See all the congestion we got? on the metal detectors. It's just retarded. The game doesn't path out the way that you want it to. Logically, you would think you put your bag on the baggage cart, you go through the metal detector, you get your bag. But because the pathing doesn't work that way, you really need to build a zone for the baggage, then a zone for people going through the metal detectors. And it seems like you need more metal detectors than baggage. Alright, so far, security's not a huge issue. Ticketing looks to be a little bit slow. Oh, I probably should have added somebody at the ticketing, another ticketing agent. Hopefully we get everybody in and boarded. We've got some stragglers here. You still have 18 minutes though to go on this flight. Alright, so this is... Alright, so they're off. Good news. 767, Aerostar. So that's got to be this flight here. It needs to leave by 8:30. Alright, everybody got through ticketing. Seem to have alleviated our congestion here. Tons of congestion up here. How are we doing on cleanliness? 98% clean. How are we doing on trash? Look, twice as many people were hardly generating any trash because I'm still running at 2x speed. If I slow down to 1x speed, I'll get plenty of trash. Yeah, but I'm not going to. Alright, building up some cash. That's good. So one of the next things we're going to want to do is put another couple of ticketing agents in. As well as, might as well go ahead and put another person checking IDs and checking bags as well. At this point, we don't make a whole lot of income until we start running a few days into it. It's going to take 4 or 5 days of just running flights through and making some massaging here and there before I'm going to generate enough capital to go ahead and extend out that runway. And part of that is going to become the nasty business of raising prices on the airlines. And what you want to do is you want to build yourself up a little bit of a cushion so that when you raise the price, if a whole bunch of them leave on you, you're not stuck in the hole with no money to operate on. So you do want to build a little bit of a cushion so when you do that, you've got something to fall back on. All right, where are my janitors? Please tell me they're still working. Maybe I need to add a couple of more. Yeah, let's add a couple more staff janitors. I don't like seeing trash on the ground. It bugs me. Even though we have a good cleanly rating, our biggest things right now that we have negative is the environment, hunger, and rest. Which means we need to put some plants in. And we need some more food vending machines in order to make all these people happy. Alright, so on our schedule, we want to get rid of the Union Air flight that's already been through. As much as I hate to do it for you, you're going to get terminated. And that just cost us $6,000. But we're going to go to Atlantic Air and we're going to court them for their 707 flight. Right? 707. Make sure that's the one we want. Just in case there's not a 767 hiding in here somewhere that we could have grabbed. There's a 737 and 707 afternoons. Aero Time has a 707 Boeing. But we're going to make Aero Time. Ooh, look, 767 Spark Jet morning flight. Nice. Alright, their primary concerns are passenger satisfaction, passengers missing their flight, flight delays, and flight cancellations. Nothing about pricing, so let's go ahead and take them. And let's get them scheduled into that slot that we just made. They're way up here in the wrong spot. Let's get them scheduled for 9 a.m. Excellent. See what I mean about that? I'd like to be able to move that down, way down here, so that I can at least get it into the flow on the grid to see what's going on, but that doesn't exist. So I just kind of have to look, make sure I got everything right. That is there. All right. So we got a little bit of money off of that. How much did SparkJet give us for that flight? Let's see. SparkJet gave us $8,000 for accepting that flight. Sweet, that paid off. We need to book more of their stuff. Did they really give us 8,000? 8,000 per new schedule? Wow, we need to cancel out some other people and book some flights with them. They got a lot of morning flights. Hee. I like them. $8,000 a flight. Oh, we don't want to piss them off though. If we do, they'll cancel on us. It'll cost us an arm and a leg. That's the thing. You have to go through and look at all your... You need to periodically go through and just kind of look, especially if we're going to do a pricing increase. Let's look at their primary concerns for everybody we have current flights on and make sure that we're not going to really upset anybody by raising the price. So their concerns are airport runway usage prices, passengers missing their flights, and flight cancellation. They're going to get mad if we raise the price. SparkJet, passenger satisfaction, passenger missing their flight, flight delays. They don't care so much about our prices. Afford is looking at prices and flight cancellations. WestJet is considered with flight cancellations, airport runway usage prices, flight delays. So yeah, we got several flights that are going to get irritated when we raise the price. Starflight is concerned about prices. Aerostar is concerned about prices. And Atlantic International is concerned about prices. Ugh. I'm not sure if they're going to be happy when I raise prices soon. Well, let's slow some things down here. See what we got going on here. We got a lot of 767s coming in, so we need to make sure that everything's getting taken care of here. Might want to go ahead and get another ID checker in here, and we'll go ahead and get that baggage scanner in as well. So let's get the baggage scanner and another ID station. There we go, and we'll add another queue in. Q. There we go. Alright, so let's get a queue in. There we go. So as soon as this pops, we'll be able to tie it onto the queue, and then we'll move some more security in here. I need 1, 2, 3 security guards. 1, 2, 3. They're going to go to different spots. When I actually open these up, they'll get in there. There's my delivery truck with my parts. All right, so let's get those in here. Here they come. Alright, assign that to that queue. If you don't assign these to a queue, what'll happen is everybody will all of a sudden go, well, why am I going to stand in line? I'll go straight to this guy. And it messes everything up. But what I'll do is I'll also assign him over to these other queues as well, and Let him help clear them out some. Got an awful lot of people standing around. I might ought to add him one more ID check. Got a few more people than I thought I was going to get. All right. Other than that, things seem to be humming along. Even though there's trash all over the ground, our place is fairly clean. Bladder satisfaction is dropping down a little bit. We might need to consider building another set of restrooms. Which means we have to build another area that we could put them in. That's going to be a challenge. Alright, people, come on, get through. There we go. There, as soon as I get this one open. Alright. I'll assign it to all three. And he can help with overflow. There we go. I think that's going to work. Pretty good. So how much money were we making now? With staff expenses, estimated income is around $58,000 a day. That's pretty good. We run a few days and then we'll be able to do some upgrades around the airport, extend out the facilities, and then we can consider adding in another gate. I may add in another small gate, to be honest with you, rather than try to put a big gate in right off the bat. That might be our best bet. What's up with this guy? Alright, so this is our last flight of the day, I believe. Now, I didn't pay enough attention. Some of those flights might have been a little bit late coming in and leaving, but it looks like, oh, we had one flight cancel on us. Failed to reserve a gate. See, that's what I was talking about. You got to watch. You got to pay attention to what's going on and make sure that all the, everybody gets their gates. And I wasn't paying enough attention. This 767 sat on the ground too long and didn't free up a gate. And that guy didn't land. Ugh. I gotta pay more attention to that. Hopefully that airline doesn't decide to cancel on me because of that. They will, though. If you're not careful, they'll decide all of a sudden, oh well, we're gonna cancel that flight because we weren't happy with it. And now I'm starting to get all these people realize that their flight got canceled and they're irritated. Arrgh. Well, mistakes were made. Yeah, I was too busy paying attention to security and the delays at security, and I didn't see that problem developing. Alright, well, that gets us through day 4. As soon as this plane takes off, we'll call it a day. And we'll call it an episode. We'll come back. We got 22,000. Well, no, we don't have 22,000. Are you kidding me? Spark Jet terminated on me? It never even booked the flight. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, see, this I don't like about the game. SparkJet terminated the flight. SparkJet is the one that gave us... Hang on, let's look at this. SparkJet is the one that gave us $8,000 for booking their flight earlier. Which is... Wasn't that them, SparkJet? Hey, that's $3,000 for a flight. Where is SparkJet? SparkJet now no longer is offering services to us. Or was it Starflight? No, it was SparkJet. SparkJet's the one that gave us $8,000 to book their flight, to book that 767 in the morning. And they just canceled their flight on me. They've never even flown into the airport and they canceled their flight on me. And I have no way to book that slot out. So I got hosed completely. Not only do I not get the flight coming into the airport, but I lost the $8,000 that they gave me plus another $8,000. I got penalized because they decided not to come in. That's wrong. I do not like that about this game. They should have to at least honor one flight into the airport before they just up and cancel. And I've never had a flight that would have been canceled on them, so I don't understand why that happens. Now, I did have that one, like I said, I had this one flight that one of these didn't fly in and canceled, and because they weren't able to secure the runway. And that would have been an Aerostar flight. It wasn't Starflight, it was an Aerostar. So the fact that they pulled out on me is really wrong. I don't like when the SparkJet, this is them right there. This is their 767. So I'm penalized on them, and I didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, that's wrong. The right one, right? SparkJet. Yep. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that as part of the game. That just cost me a ton of money, and I did nothing wrong. So, all right. So, anyways, with my baggage car in the hangar, it's a good time for me to go ahead and save this game. So I will do so, and we will call it a day. But I do want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure you smack that like button. Wow, look at all the trash we got to clean up. Smack that like button, leave a comment down below, and again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I hope you will, and you'll come back and join us for our next video tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, have yourself a wonderful day, and God bless you guys. Bye-bye.